Imagine a shivering girl, abandoned on a rain-soaked street, her heart shattered by the mother who left her behind, until a stranger's kindness changes her fate forever. Dive into this gripping tale of betrayal, hope, and redemption that will tug at your heartstrings and keep you guessing until the very end. Subscribe now to unlock this emotional roller coaster and more captivating stories like it. In the heart of a bustling city, where neon lights flickered against a relentless downpour, 7-year-old Lila sat huddled beneath a tattered awning, her thin frame trembling in the cold. Her mother, Mara, had promised they'd find a new home together, but hours ago she'd kissed Lila's forehead, handed her a crumpled dollar bill, and vanished into the crowd with a man whose laughter grated like broken glass. Lila clutched the dollar, her only possession besides the soaked sweater clinging to her skin, and whispered to herself that Mama would come back. She always did. But as the hours bled into night, the truth settled like ice in her chest. She was alone. The city pulsed around her, indifferent taxis honked, strangers hurried past, and the rain drowned her quiet sobs. She didn't notice the sleek black car that slowed to a stop nearby, its tinted windows reflecting the chaos of the street. Inside sat Evelyn Carter, a 42-year-old CEO of Carter Industries, a woman whose name commanded boardrooms and whose fortune could buy half the city. Evelyn was on her way to a gala, her emerald gown pristine, her mind on a merger that could redefine her legacy. But something about the small figure under the awning caught her eye. A child, alone in a world that devoured the vulnerable. Evelyn's driver, Marcus, hesitated when she asked him to stop. "It's not our business, ma'am," he said, but Evelyn's gaze was fixed on Lila, her heart stirring with a memory she'd buried long ago, her own childhood, spent in foster homes after her parents died in a fire. Against Marcus's protests, she stepped into the rain, her heels clicking on the pavement as she approached the girl. "Hey, sweetheart," Evelyn said softly, kneeling despite the mud staining her gown. "What's your name?" Lila's wide, tear-streaked eyes met hers, wary but desperate. "Layla," she whispered. Evelyn's heart clenched. She saw not just a child but a mirror of her own past pain. Without hesitation, she offered Lila her hand. "Come with me. You're safe now." Lila, too cold and scared to argue, followed her to the car, where warmth enveloped her like a forgotten dream. Evelyn took her to her penthouse, a sprawling oasis of glass and marble overlooking the city. There, she wrapped Lila in a plush blanket, fed her warm soup, and listened as the girl's story spilled out Mara's promises, her disappearances, the man who'd taken her attention. Evelyn's jaw tightened. She knew women like Mara, chasing fleeting highs at the cost of everything else. She promised Lila she'd never go back to the streets, and for the first time in years, Evelyn felt a purpose beyond profit. Over the next few days, she showered Lila with clothes, toys, and books, transforming the guest room into a pastel paradise. Lila, hesitant at first, began to smile, her laughter echoing through the penthouse like music. Evelyn hired tutors, enrolled her in a private school, and even took her to the office, where employees whispered about the little princess trailing the formidable CEO. But Evelyn wasn't naive. She knew Mara might return, and she hired a private investigator, Tom, to track her down. Tom uncovered a grim truth. Mara was entangled with a lowlife named Vince, a con artist with a rap sheet longer than the city skyline. Worse, Mara had been spotted near Evelyn's building, watching from a distance. Evelyn's protective instincts flared. She filed for temporary custody, determined to keep Lila safe. The court granted it, but Mara surfaced days later, banging on the penthouse door, her eyes wild with desperation. "She's my daughter," Mara screamed, her breath sour with cheap liquor. Lila clung to Evelyn, trembling as Mara ranted about her rights. Evelyn stood firm, her voice cold as steel. "You left her to freeze. She's mine now." The confrontation ended with security dragging Mara away, but Evelyn knew it wasn't over. She hired bodyguards and tightened security, but a nagging fear lingered. Mara's obsession wasn't just maternal. Tom's next report confirmed it. Vince was pushing Mara to reclaim Lila, not out of love but for leverage. Rumors swirled that Evelyn's company was developing a revolutionary AI, and Vince, with his underworld connections, believed Lila could be a bargaining chip to extort Evelyn. The plot thickened when Evelyn received an anonymous note. Give us the AI blueprint, or the girl disappears. Her blood ran cold. She hadn't built an empire by cowering, but this was personal. She moved Lila to a safe house in the countryside, a charming cottage surrounded by meadows, where Lila could ride ponies and forget the city's shadows. Evelyn stayed with her, working remotely, her laptop screen glowing late into the night. As she coordinated with Tom and her security team, Lila, sensing the tension, asked one evening, "Are you my new mom?" Evelyn's throat tightened. She hadn't planned to love this fiercely, but she nodded, tears in her eyes. "If you want me to be." Lila's hug was answer enough. Meanwhile, Tom uncovered Vince's plan. He'd bribed a disgruntled Carter Industries employee, Karen, who had access to the AI prototype. Karen, bitter over a denied promotion, had leaked details to Vince, who planned to kidnap Lila during a school trip Evelyn had reluctantly approved. The twist came when Karen, racked with guilt, confessed to Evelyn in a tearful call, revealing Vince's hideout, a derelict warehouse by the docks. Evelyn didn't wait for the police. She contacted a trusted security firm, and under the cover of night, they raided the warehouse. Vince and his crew were caught off guard, but Mara was there, sobbing, claiming she only wanted her daughter back. Evelyn saw through the act. Mara's loyalty was to Vince's promises of quick cash. The police arrested them both, and Mara's parental rights were terminated after a swift court battle. Her history of neglect laid bare. Lila, now legally Evelyn's daughter, thrived in her new life. The AI project launched successfully, cementing Evelyn's legacy, but she found her true wealth in Lila's laughter, her drawings pinned to the penthouse fridge, her small hand in Evelyn's during evening walks. Yet, the story didn't end there. A year later, a letter arrived, handwritten, postmarked from a women's prison. Mara begged for forgiveness, claiming she'd changed, that rehab had opened her eyes. Evelyn read it alone, her heart torn. She'd never tell Lila, not yet Lila deserved her peace. But as she tucked her daughter into bed that night, Evelyn vowed to protect her from any shadow that dared return, her love a fortress stronger than any empire. The city sparkled below, a testament to survival, and in that moment, Evelyn knew she'd not only saved Lila, but had been saved herself by a little girl who'd become her world.